Hi, I'm Chelsea Desfergana, and this is my Hospitality 2000 Exam 3. So Chapter 9, Number 1. As a tourism provider, why is it important to understand motivations of travel, and why is it important to understand barriers? So it's important to understand the motivations of travels, because if we understand the motivations, we can plan accordingly. Motivations represent the benefits the traveler is seeking, and it's our job to fulfill these traveler benefits or expectations. On the same side, it's important to understand barriers. Some typical barriers are like resources like time and money. And it's important because if we know the barriers, we could possibly remove or alleviate some of these to encourage people to travel. And this knowledge and information is also used in the overall marketing message. All right, number 2, many motivations are grounded in blank theory. So many motivations are grounded in psychological theory. Number 4, why is a model or theory of motivation helpful to industry stakeholders? So it's helpful to industry stakeholders because it helps them understand the why. So why tourists travel and why they do certain things when they travel. Number 6, travelers are more discerning in their travel preferences and want customized experiences tailored to their interests. This trend has led to a current abundance of blank products and markets, and it's consumer products and markets. Number 7, you can't be all blank to all blank, and it's you can't be all things to all people. Number 8, the characteristics to describe a certain market segment are called a blank, and they are called a target market. All right, number 9, select one of the motivation models from below and explain it in detail and relate it to your own life. So I chose Crompton's push and pull method, or a model, and it's basically the concept that explains tourist behavior. The push factors represent the psychological needs or the motives that drive tourists away from home, and the pull factors are what drives them towards the destination. And I think this concept not only fits for tourist behavior, but I've noticed in my everyday life, there are certain decisions that I make that there are push-pull factors involved. For instance, like right now we're in a pandemic and trying to be as safe as possible and stay home, but certain things like work, there are push and pull factors. So some of those push factors are those needs and those motives that drive me away from home, which are, you know, the social aspect of working as well as financial security. And some of the pull factors that pull me into the workplace or destination would be my friends and coworkers that offer that social environment, as well as my paycheck and my tips that offer that financial stability. All right, number 12. Why is psychographic information about your visitors far superior to demographic? So it's basically superior because you find out more about your visitors and travelers' motivations by looking at it psychologically better than demographics. Demographics can be sort of like an outer label rather than a reason for somebody doing something or wanting something. All right, chapter 10, number 14. What are some components of culture that a visitor might be interested in? So some components of culture that a visitor might be interested in is history, language, the fashion or dress of that culture, certain traditions, religion is a big factor, agriculture, as well as the arts like art and music, and a lot of everybody's favorite is cuisine. All right, chapter 11, number 19. The summary of the principal social effects of tourism is a list of 16 general statements on page 253 of your text. If you were to choose one you disagreed with the most, which would it be and why? So for this, I chose number 10. I would probably disagree with it the most. It says people living in cities are more interested in travel than those living in small towns or rural areas. And basically, I disagree with this a little more than the others because I think the means and barriers to travel are more of a reason for people living outside cities to not travel rather than interest. I know in my personal experience, I've met many people from small towns and rural areas that have the desire to travel because they've been in such a small area, and it's completely different than what they're used to, as opposed to some people in cities are used to that city lifestyle, so it's not that different when they travel. All right, number 21. Discuss where you fall on each of the 4 travel preference extremes in relation to international travel. So the 4 travel preference extremes are complete relaxation to constant activity, travel close to home or to a totally strange environment, complete dependence on a group versus travel alone, and order to disorder. And for me personally, it honestly depends on all these factors, but for the most part, I enjoy doing a lot when I go on vacations and when I've traveled internationally in the past. I like doing activities and getting out there and experiencing new things, which also goes into the second extreme, travel close to home or in a strange environment. Any travel is great travel, but I'm definitely more for trying out new places and new experiences and even strange environments. For complete dependence on a group versus travel alone, I love traveling alone. I love experiencing things on my own time and my own plans. But for travel abroad and internationally, I think it's definitely more conducive to travel with somebody else, so I feel a little bit more comfortable. And then for the last point, order to disorder, it really depends, like I said for the other ones as well. But for the most part, when I travel, I like to have some sort of order and a plan, but also have free time. That way I'm able to continue to go with the flow. All right, number 24, what are travel clubs? So travel clubs are a group of people with a common interest, and that could be just interest in travel, who have formed an organization for a mutual benefit. When they form these clubs, this group mentality and being in a group allows members to buy in bulk, discounted rates, and also different package style holidays. All right, number 26. Why might travel motivations vary across one's lifespan? So travel motivations change throughout your life because you change throughout your life. As you grow, a lot of your values and interests grow with you and change. So for example, your religion may change, which could be a big motivation for travel, or the type of travel you want to partake in, whether you're single or have a family or are older. So all those factors change as you get older and your mind changes and just as you grow. All right. Should be the last one. Thank you.